Today I'll show you how finance reconciliation can be automated with robotic process automation. Account reconciliation is a process that businesses must perform periodically to balance out their books by comparing two sets of financial records. This is typically a tedious and repetitive process that requires a human workforce manually comparing multiple financial statements from disparate systems to prevent balance sheet errors, making it a prime use case for automation. For this demo, we'll use the bank account reconciliation process. This process begins by comparing the cash balances to the bank statement, then identifying and documenting any payments made in the internal cash register but not represented on the bank statement, which might include ATM transactions and checks. This requires making the necessary adjustments to the bank statement's balances to reflect the correct amount. To do this, they must add deposits in transit, subtract outstanding checks, and either add or subtract bank errors. Changes will also have to be made to the cash balance records so that they can appropriately represent all company transactions. This will be accomplished by ensuring that all charges and deposits are properly recorded in the company's cash account. Next, we validate that the final balances are now the same once changes have been made and records are matched, which concludes the reconciliation process. However, if records are still mismatched, the process must be repeated to determine the source of the mistake. The bank account reconciliation process is often performed at the end of every month, week, and even at the end of each day by businesses that have a large number of transactions, which amounts to a significant amount of repetitive work that tends to be error-prone. Now let's look at how our bot can complete this task in a fraction of the time. The automation will start with the robot logging into the financial software. Go to the Reconciliations Due, enter all the necessary information, select the targeted account, fill in the details, upload the files, run the report, and release it to the human workforce for review. Now that we know how the process works and how the robot can automate it, it's time to see the robot in action. First, the robot will log into the financial system and go to the targeted account. For this demo, the robot's configured to run at debug mode, which runs at a much slower pace than in production. After filling in all the details, the robot will upload the Excel file in a matter of seconds. And as a final step, the robot will run the report and finally release it for review. This can be done repeatedly for thousands of accounts, error-free, and in a fragment of the time a human workforce would, enabling them to reallocate their time in higher value work. And this concludes our demo of automating finance reconciliation with RPA.